Hey family, this is Dr. Financial Literacy. Welcome to episode 23. Today we got the news in terms of working with the credit union, not moving forward with that in terms of the HELOC. So that was the first social experiment. Going to now move on to the next experiment using a HELOC. So thank you very much for coming along with me on this second experimentation. And all of my experience are to help you in general. All right, Jan, you see one screen?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we're looking at steps to velocity banking, day 23. One of the things I'm hoping to help you with in general, financial capability, is the capacity to use your behavior, attitude, skills, and knowledge within your environment to manage your financial resources effectively, equitably, and efficiently at all levels, and to help others. Velocity banking is a strategy where you use a revolving line of credit, and in this case, a credit card that I'll be using, as your primary checking and savings account to help pay off your debt. So I'm going to try to dump all of my money into this credit card and use it to pay all my bills, pay my online debts, and also my credit reporting items. Velocity banking is opposed to the traditional way of thinking. We used to just get out a check, put it into a bank, and either write a check or use a debit card, and whatever is left over is your cash flow. Now with the velocity banking, you select a debt tool. You can place your check on it wherever you get your money from. Pay portions of your bill out of it, and whatever's left stays on the debt instrument and constantly brings down your principal. So the way that we'll be using this is that, or I'll be using this, is that I'll be taking out cash advance, placing that cash advance at an 18% interest rate onto my interest rate of 6.88, and then paying down the principal each month as I put more and more money into the credit card. This is the property that we're going to look to try to pay down in 1 year.
Wait a minute, I got a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you go back to the previous slide? That slide right there.
So in the velocity banking,
I'm trying to see what the difference between velocity banking and just regular banking. And I'm looking at
well,
the
with the regular banking,
yeah, I'm looking at
your
the
money your money is not working for you. So like I had $5,000 in a savings account, and within 1 year of having 5,000, the bank only provided me $1. Now, if I would
okay.
have taken that 5,000 and placed it on a credit card that I was using back and forth, and then used the money for the house, it would have brought down some principal. But I was just letting the money sit. So
So the
velocity banking,
so I'm trying to see, so the velocity banking is really, so you so I guess what I'm you're not really saving money on on the banking system, right?
no, you are, because the money is being placed in work for you.
No, I'm
So I'm
saying
now,
no, I'm saying, do you have because I'm trying to compare it to, if you have $1,000 in your savings account in a regular bank,
mhm,
do you, and you're not messing with that, even though you're not getting a lot of interest like you used to back in the 80s.
mhm,
But even though you're not getting that much, you can just leave that in there. But in the velocity, they're taking, they're just taking the money out to pay back that loan. That yeah, that
mhm.
loan.
Is being used to pay down your high interest loans which is
Right.
saving you more money than just having your money sit. So
Saving, but
velocity,
right,
say it again.
but you're not saving that money. I can
No, no,
leave
you're
that.
right. You're right. You're not saving it. You're putting as much as you can on some sort of debt tool. The ideal is that because you're saving on the high interest, that's really your saving. Now you can pull some of it out and set it to the side for like emergency purposes in general. But because you're using as much of your cash flow to pay down debt, you're getting a much, much higher rate on return.
So the velocities banking is just for paying down debt, not for if you want to save some money and leave it in there. It's not like that.
Right. No, but you can use it with the money that you save, like the money that I'm saving on the interest of the home through velocity banking. I can take some of it out and then just set it to the side.
Because that money, they're going to ask for that money either way it goes. They're just not asking for it now, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, I'm just trying to understand it. That's why I'm asking the question.
And as we go further along and as I continue to develop the episodes, we'll learn more and more. And in real time, we'll see that when I move money from the credit card and place it into the bank to pay down the mortgage, the principal should be dropping. And we'll see that in real time. And then definitely become even more clearer for me as I try to understand how velocity banking works.
Because I'm just trying to see where would it fit in my situation. And I don't see it being fitting
Well,
in
I
my.
mean, what debt do you have?
No, I'm just. But I
Because
ain't really. Well, I
right.
do have a little bit more. No, I do have a little bit um on my student loan that I need to pay that I'm paying
Okay,
back.
that's an excellent one. So what I would do would take a cash advance from the card, give it to you, you place it on your student loan, and if you have 2,000, I mean, if you have $10,000, I'll provide you 2,000, and then the principal is 8. So as they're calculating interest on a daily, you just eliminated some of that daily interest.
Well,
And we can talk about it. This is just the first presentation, but we can talk about it further as we go through.
okay.
Again, this is the property that one of the properties that I started with, and this is the property that I will be using for the velocity banking. I'm wanting to pay it off in 1 year. It was purchased in August 2009 at a price of $46,900 from the U.S. Urban Housing Development, and I purchased 4 homes from HUD. And I lived with a roommate in each one of the properties, and the roommate helped to reduce the cost. So over a 10-year period, I was able to acquire 4 properties through what they call house hacking. Have you ever house hacked?
No,
Okay. Do you know what house hacking is now?
no, I've never heard of it.
Just taking on a roommate, sharing a place, and then using that extra money to pay down debt.
Oh, okay.
This is based on it was a 30-year fixed mortgage, but now I'm down to 16 years. The current balance is about 28,000, but that's made up of the current payments of about 20,000. And then I have COVID arrears at $8,246. So when I sell the property, then the arrears kick in and a bank will want their money. Some arrears are fixed and don't have any interest, I think, and then some are interest bearing. I need to go back and check again. What is the cash flow to credit card? So the credit card that I'm using, it has a $6,200 limit. It has a cash advance limit of 1860, and I at 60. For all purchases, it has 18%. So I'm paying whatever I buy, 18%. If I go to any ATM and get a cash advance, my limit is, I think, $400 a day. Then I pay 18% for that also. Some credit cards go up there as much as 32, 34 that I have.
Why can't you just put in? Okay, so
Oh, go ahead.
wait a minute. I'm reading again. Okay, so if you have
Now, this is just a debt tool.
trying to reason it out in my head. That's why
Mhm.
my
In terms of what?
oh
Now,
okay. Think of
the
it as
velocity,
this is a credit card. They want you to use the credit card.
yeah, so they can get interest, right? 100%. Hmm.
So if you don't use it, then what happens?
They don't get any interest on it. So right now, before I did the cash advance, the balance was zero. So they were getting no interest at all. I mean, they want you to use it, but if you have no need for it, then it's not going to get used. So I decided to use this particular one.
It's not a penalty then, right?
No, not for not using it at all. No. And this is just one debt instrument. We could have used a HELOC if I would have been successful. The all-in-one, if I would have been successful, is basically moving one debt to the other and at the same time taking your cash flow to reduce the daily balance. That's one of the main keys, the average daily balance that you're having.
But if you just charge, wait a minute, you put in $1,800 and they charge you 18% of
No,
all the.
no,
Is that how you do it? Read it.
no. The cash limit on that card is $6,200.
I ain't talking about that box.
But I'm moving across.
Okay.
Now the cash advance limit is if I go to an ATM, I put the card in, they
You can
will
only
allow me to get $1,800 of that 6,200. So I'm not carrying the balance, but that's what I'm doing. So when I get that 1860, I'm taking it over to my mortgage company and putting it on the mortgage. So whereas there was 28,000 balance, that's going to bring it down to about 26,000. And that knocked down the principal daily balance. And we'll see those calculations later. Okay. All right. Where you see the increase of 138, that's where again I made some deductions in my taxes, and now I'm bringing home more. I'm willing to pay the taxes on the back end so that I can use as much money as I can for velocity banking and bring in some cash flow. In the earlier slides, my personal expenses, $761. My credit reporting liabilities, that includes automobile, credit cards, came up to $439 each. That also includes my Kia Forte at $157 a month. And housing, I need to change that. It says 439, but it's 1,400. So those are my three areas of expenses that I hope to place onto the card along with my checks to bring them down on a daily basis. So the next step is we'll continue to use velocity banking with one credit card. The credit card has a $6,200 limit. I can do a cash advance of 1860. Tomorrow I'm gonna go ahead and pull that out, place it onto or send it to the mortgage company and start velocity banking and see how it chips down at each one of the steps. If you would like to be one of my clients that I can work with to help you improve your credit, make micro loans and become a hopefully an authorized user on a card and improve your credit score, please contact me at my telephone or email, and I'd love to help to work with you. So until we meet, episode 24, talk to you later. Have a great day. And as a disclaimer, I am an experimental political economist. I'm not a CPA. I'm not an attorney. Therefore, everything that I'm doing is based on my real world experience. So that includes buying a home using the HELOC method. We did the trying to get the all-in-one. All these are my real world experiences, and it's not entertainment purposes. This is real empirical information that I'm working from. So if I can be of help and work with you, please give me a call. Thank you very much.